It's recording?
It's been recorded.
It's been recorded. What is going on, guys? We got our first episode with our first guest.
First timer.
First timer right here, popping the cherry.
Ooh, I was just going to say
You're
that.
just going to say, so introduce yourself to everybody. Who we got?
What's up, guys? I'm Billy Bigelow, MMA wrestling coach. I coach all over the world, and now my life is taking me to Tokyo. So I'm going to be coaching wrestling out in Tokyo, working with a lot of rising fighters, and hopefully bringing a lot of North American fighters out there to compete on a big stage and kind of broaden the horizons of Japanese MMA.
That's awesome. And so what's your background in the sport of wrestling?
Yeah, so I started wrestling at 4 years old. My dad wrestled Division I. His three brothers all wrestled Division I. And, so anyways, I went out, came through the sport. Kind of had big shoes to fill. I was like a grade school national champ. Really just competed at a high level. Ended up wrestling Division I, and got into coaching MMA right after college. I had an injury in college. I was ranked top 20 in the country, and then I shattered my orbital floor, and the fractured all the way to the back of my skull, like just very unlucky. And so I was able to recover from it, but because the NCAA has like very strict medical regulation, they couldn't clear me with liability. So when that happened, a close friend of mine, Gray Maynard, he was a title contender in the UFC back in the day, brought me into some of his camps, and then the rest is history, man. I've lived in New Zealand, I've lived in Thailand, I've lived in Norway, all over the U.S., and just coached a lot of wrestling.
So now you would say, like, on your resume or title, you are an international wrestling coach.
Yeah, definitely. I would say international
MMA.
Wrestling coach for MMA.
Yeah,
yep.
That's awesome, and that's dope because we had a similar, I guess, resume stay or be in this home in Frank Hickman.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool to see Billy, in a way, follow and have his own path and see, because Billy's also an extremely high level athlete. I had him in my most recent camp. He came out and cornered me in Biloxi for the Game Bred fight, and it was awesome working with him. So it was cool to see that insight for myself to experience, and then of course now D-Rod's next up to get into a scrap, so we're going to be having Billy getting involved in his camp as well. It was just, I thought it'd be an interesting our first guest to bring on, for, I don't know, we've been around now almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years in April, but I thought it's about time we had someone come on. And if there's one character that I think is pretty interesting, it is Billy, because not only has he been able to see the world, which is something that I've been, blessed to do as well, and D-Rod's starting to now as well, going to Thailand, enjoying himself. So Billy's definitely going to give us kind of an insight now. He just spent the last few months in Japan. For those that don't know, there was a big New Year's Eve fight event risen with Vince Morales, a teammate from Syndicate. He was also on that card, and then of course the main event, Kai Asakara and Juan Archuleta, correct? Yeah, which is like such a low-key banger that I didn't think got much publicity. But I'm sure a lot of American fans don't know Kai, but Kai, for those who don't know, is kind of like a Conor McGregor of Japan, right?
Bro, blew my mind.
Give us like an example of just like how famous this man is.
Like, he hadn't been on a train, public transportation, in 5 years. Right, 5 years. He can't go public transportation. Whenever he's outside, he's got glasses, a mask, and a hat on. Like, when he doesn't, it's people screaming his name, asking for pictures. Even to the point, listen how crazy this is. My Instagram had 1,800 followers. Small. In 6 weeks, I have about 15,000 followers.
They're all Japanese.
All Japanese. And every time I went out, I lived in like a very popular area in Japan, or in Tokyo. Every time I went out, people would notice me and take a picture of me. Like, that's how famous Kai is, just because I cornered him.
That's so crazy.
It's insane.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've worked with UFC champs and like
nothing like that.
Nothing like that.
He's got and what is his background that made him so famous? Is it his kickboxing background? Does he have another? Is he a singer? Is he a movie star over there? There's these fighters in Japan, they usually have so many like multifaceted lives, you know what I mean? What's his story? What's his background?
So I might butcher this, but from my understanding, like, so Kai and his brother Mikuru is double, triple more famous than Kai.
Is he a fighter?
He fought Floyd Mayweather.
Oh, that's the guy who fought Floyd.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
so they're brothers.
Uh-huh.
They're brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they come from a small town. I don't remember the name, but not Tokyo. And they fought in Risen. And I don't know exactly what got Mikuru so big, but he was the first big one, which then kind of gave Kai a platform. And where they got super big was through YouTube. So like there was a specific video, non-fight related, that Kai released. And it was kind of like a gag video, like a joke video, in the sense of like he'd already been the Rising champ previously, and he was like dressed up in another outfit and like picking up cigarette butts off the ground, and then like getting into altercations with people that were littering, basically. And the video just went viral for like their community, and I think that's what like sent him to superstardom within YouTube.
Got you.
And so then the fighting career kind of kept that, or just kept building and building and building with more hype behind it, and brought more people to, or brought more fans to MMA.
Got you. That's cool.
So he's a megastar.
That's wild.
It's amazing.
So then, like the treatment obviously that he gets in Japan is like elite. So you got to experience like the elite life of Japan, which anyone that has experienced elite life just in Japan, or not just Japan, but in Asia in general, will know it's just like. It's incredible, yeah. There's nothing like it in America, unless you like one of those guys who's been spending crazy unnecessary money. You know,
it's crazy. The quality of food, the very like exclusive and private places that we were able to go to. Like even as far as like we went to this sauna that supposedly is like just to be a member without ever going into it is $20,000, and then like per hour per person is like $400.
Damn.
And it's like the sauna's made of like lava from Mount Fuji, and
shit, that's sick.
It does something special to your skin, and then you like.
Is that what happened to your hair?
Yeah, so that's what happened. Actually, that was just a crazy night, to be honest.
That fucking lava rock, bro.
Yeah, my hair is not usually like this. I'm on like in Japan, I look cool. In Vegas, I look like a meth head. It's one of those things, you know.
Oh shit!
Who is that? Actually, a funny story. So I was at the PI today with Marab and his crew, and he's got this. Little freestyle wrestler. He's tough.
I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah, the guy that's trained the Syndicate. Right?
Yeah, shaved head.
Yeah.
And he like didn't look me in the eyes. He's like very religious, and he's like, oh hello, and he's like shakes his head and looks this way, and then he talks to Marab after. He goes like, what, is Billy gay? What happened to his hair? Is he gay?
So this guy is like a little mini Khabib, like he's a little
mini Khabib.
Yeah, so like he did not approve of Billy's hair. Huh?
No.
But yeah, so just like going through the experience in Japan, obviously the diet, the food. What was it like out there?
So that was really challenging for me. I have like a very strict
He's
diet.
very strict.
Like I don't eat carbs really ever. I never eat processed foods.
He's very strict.
Yeah, like probably to like
an extreme. But it's good, I think.
Yeah,
it's not a bad thing.
And it's all for longevity, this, that, and that, whatever. That doesn't matter.
But considering what he does for a living, like you need to have your body able to recuperate, needing to be able to perform day in and day out. I said it to Frank many times before, and I know Billy is definitely thinking about it in the back of his head, and he probably will, I think. But competing, because they train so damn much and they're training at such a high level with the best in the world for the most part, that it's almost like underutilized that they're not going out there and at least getting some fights in, you know what I mean? But he's training at such a high level, you don't want to put any kind of inflammation in your body, and eating processed foods, eating shit like that. Trust me, it's going to lag your recovery. So when he does say that he's doing it for a reason, it's not because he's absolutely crazy, it's because he's doing it because he needs to use his vessel, his body to work.
Yeah, it's my business.
Exactly.
Like the big selling point, and I think Frank is very similar, is like that's what's so special about Frank and I believe myself is that we're able to get in and actually scrap with the guys. And so if I'm training with them, I can stop them in a position and tell them, hey, this is wrong. Like, 'cause I can feel it. Where like a lot of coaches, that maybe went the more conventional route to coaching, where they coach at the back end of their career, at the exit of their career, they're not actually physically getting in there and doing as much work.
For sure.
And also like a big difference too is like, we train with really high level athletes, and we train with them back to back to back. I have 4 high level athletes that are all fresh coming in, and I got to show up for all.
Yeah. Because for them it's just them and you. But
like maybe they have that session in like a pro class, and like they're still training hard, but of course, but it's just a different grind, right? It's just totally different grind.
It's way different because like I'll get in there, get in my work, and be like, okay, now I get to rest, like recover, go chill, and then Billy got to go do another session. You know what I mean? So it's like it's different for us than it is him, and it's funny because he's so strict on his diet. And if we were to put up like Billy's diet versus Frank's diet, you'd be...
Oh, we're opposites.
Exactly opposite.
But Frank is just like probably the same output, if not more.
I know. And I remember because I've lived with
Frank's
him.
Frank's a fucking superstar.
I've lived with him, and I just couldn't believe like how he functions on the diet that he eats.
Dude, on the topic of Frank Hickman though, like Frank has been one of like the most... He's been one of the guys that I've really tried to like frame my career off of, because I've taken a lot of inspiration off of him. And a lot of that is like, aside from his ability to coach, like we have a little bit different style, but like the relationships that he builds with his athletes and how important that is, and then to be able to network and make people feel special and go the extra mile and not have an ego. Like Frank is a fucking superstar at that, and that's one thing that like
Frank's the man.
I've really tried to take my time, and when I have been able to follow that, it's definitely helped.
Yeah, for sure.
So he's a good people, man.
No, for sure. Frank's good vibes. When he lived here with me, it was definitely good vibes. It was a good period of time, and I learned a lot about him in that time. Man, he's so funny.
Just thinking about it makes me laugh. He's fucking awesome.
Funny as fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So it's cool, and the MMA world, it's so interconnected. Yeah. As many fighters as there are all over the world, it's still like everyone gets brought together through gyms, through locations. Places like Thailand, obviously, places like the U.S. where everybody comes to train. So
melting pots.
Yeah, so it's cool. It's definitely cool to now have kind of like an insight into Japan, which is like low key been kind of like hush hush in my opinion on the global scene. In terms of like not many people know what's going on.
Not much comes out, not much comes in.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to definitely, because like obviously, for those that do know or have heard me say it before, like a dream of mine is to fight in Japan like at least once before I retire, out of the fight game. So now that we have someone like Billy there with potential opportunities, who knows? Obviously once I'm 100% back ready to go, it'd be an awesome experience to go out there and train and fucking just potentially fight maybe. That'd be awesome. I fought in Korea a bunch, so we'll see. Like maybe who knows? I don't know how many big boys they got in Japan, but
yeah, they got a welterweight squad, but we're working on something outside of the gym, a very special project. I can't really speak about it too much in detail, but it's a project that hopefully will create opportunity for fighters to really get paid. That's paid at the level of the UFC. So that's something that we're really trying to work on and kind of come up with a game plan. We like beta tested it with Vince, and it was very successful. And now how do we replicate this on scale where it's like every 2 months, every 6 weeks we got a new guy coming in that we can replicate with, because what that will do is it will grow our gym and it'll grow our athletes by having guys come out for six weeks, train, our guys get better, we get the fighter from the North America come in, they get a fight in Japan. It's a win-win for everybody. So that's what we're working on trying to create.
Oh yeah, that's dope.
So in this like the arena, the stadium, because I've cornered now in every major stadium I think in the country except Madison Square Garden. And Saitama Super Arena is something different.
The best? Would you say the Mecca?
Not even a fucking comparison. Now, given my number one show before this was still not a UFC event.
Which was it?
KSW,
Poland. Yeah, Poland. Yeah.
It was sick. Sick. But yeah, Saitama Super Arena, like the fans and how much they actually care about MMA, and like it's like oddly quiet, and then like you can see someone just like get up off like an escape, and everyone's like clapping and cheering. You could see like
how high IQ the fans were.
Yeah, like maybe there's like it's a very tactical fight, and someone like just sneaks in a jab, and they're like there's clapping. You know, it's very interesting.
That sounds awesome, though.
Oh, that sounds super
for somebody
cool.
who knows what's going on, and all the fans are like clapping for the right thing instead of booing when they're like escaping from like
it's like, you know, I think what's interesting though is like they go to, and I think because martial arts is so ingrained in their culture, but they go to like truly enjoy the art rather than like sometimes did you go to like a UFC event and like, and I'm guilty of this, like I'm not really going to watch the fights. Like I'm going to
for the atmosphere,
have a good time,
maybe to talk to the boys.
Yeah, because it's like a cool thing to do. It's not because I sometimes like.
That's why I rather because I genuinely watch fights.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch the fights at home because I can watch the fights.
They're terrible at the arena.
Yeah, you can't see shit. Yeah,
and
like if you genuinely want to watch it, you have to see it on a TV screen.
Dude, I'm blessed. I get to go into a suite like if it's in Vegas. Usually when I go, I'm in a suite, and I love it because the experience. I love the people that I go with, but I watch the TV.
Exactly.
I don't watch the fight.
Yes, I know. I've sat literally ringside and been like, bro, I can't see half the fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Speaking of, maybe a controversial opinion. The ring is better than the cage.
You like the ring better than the cage?
Ring's better than for myself. If I were to fight, I'm a wrestler, so the cage is nice, but for a spectator, the ring's better than the cage.
Because you can see more.
But also like it creates a more aggressive style, and so even in the grappling, because there's no like wall to hold you up, that means there's more scramble. So the grappling's even more exciting. Whereas like guys just get locked down and held in the cage, and like you're watching paint dry for fucking 15 minutes, you know.
True.
So
it's true.
I like the ring personally.
In your experience on that last fight card, would you say the majority of those fights were striking fights, or was there quite a lot of grappling and wrestling going on?
It's a perfect mix, man.
Yeah.
Perfect mix.
Surprise appearance.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
What's up, bud? So you'd say it was like a good mix, like so. What about the level of MMA?
Okay, so I spoke a lot with Alex Perez about this. I think he made a really good point. Is like in Japan, it's very one-dimensional right now. Like you're either a really good striker or you're really good at jiu-jitsu.
They don't blend it.
There's really not good wrestlers. Like Japanese female freestyle wrestling is the best.
Japanese, in the world, right?
In the world,
yeah,
Japanese women are excellent. Japanese men, not like their men's wrestling is nothing to write home about. Like their Greco-Roman's okay, but it's like the Greco-Roman, especially with the ring, doesn't do anything.
Gotcha.
So like you either have really good jiu-jitsu grapplers or you have really good strikers. So the combination's kind of lacking, and I think that's why a guy like Juan Archuleta was able to do so well, is because he was more blended and diverse.
Yeah, you can chain it together.
And American wrestling, just like for MMA, is, in my opinion, superior to any style of wrestling.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool to like have that insight, and do you know when the next fight is for Asakura, for Kai?
Oh, there's things I'm not allowed to speak about.
Gotcha.
But we got some things in the mix now, and hopefully we see a move to a new organization and an attempt to chase down a new title.
That'd be dope. Get another belt at it.
Yeah.
Dope. Yeah, I mean he's the risen champ, yeah?
Yeah, risen champ. The second time winning the belt. I think he's gonna make his move down to flyweight.
Okay, so the last fight was at 35?
Yeah, bantamweight. He's like a light bantamweight though. So make the move down to flyweight.
And Vince fought 35, yeah?
Yep. And so we don't know what he's doing yet.
How do they do? Have they sparred a lot?
Yeah. How Like you're asking me who I think would win in a fight?
Not necessarily, but sure, why not? That you bring it up. Is it how? Because I mean, like obviously Vince is my boy.
Vince is my boy too.
I haven't had a ton of experience watching Kai fight, but obviously his performances show, tell otherwise. But in terms of that level, because I know what level Vince is and has been, in the UFC, and then someone like Kai, obviously, a world champ in Risen.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I think it's hard to say. If you got both guys on their best night, I think it's a really good fight.
Yeah, close fight.
If they both on their best night, it's a good fight. Yeah, it's hard to say, but I think especially down at flyweight, I think Kai. I honest to God, I think he's the champ. If he
UFC
in the UFC, if certain matchups, he's the champ. He's knocked out Manel Cop.
Oh yeah.
Now Manel's knocked him out too.
Oh okay.
So they're 1-1. But I think if he were to get the right matchups, I think 4 fights he's the champ. Right, because that weight's so fickle. I mean, the thing is that Pantoja's definitely the most dangerous guy in the weight class, and he should be the champ. But Pantoja
definitely beatable.
Definitely beatable.
Yeah. For sure.
So.
It's only a matter of time, and only who. And there's a lot of killers at 25.
Yeah, the 25 is... Well, dude, thank God for Pantoja that Albazi guy got hurt.
Yeah.
And that guy, he's gonna be out for a while.
Yeah.
So he's dangerous.
Yeah, Albazi.
He's well-rounded all over.
Yeah.
And he's a great striker.
Yeah. No, definitely.
I think he's the most dangerous guy at the weight right now.
Albazi?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Kai Kara France beat him, but...
Yeah.
Not fight.
That was close.
Yeah, Kai always seems to just
he
get
had an
shorter.
injury, right?
Who?
Kai Kara France?
Yeah.
What was it, knee?
Was it knee? Yeah, maybe.
I want to see Kai Asagura versus Kai Kara France.
That'd be a great fight. Have they ever fought?
No, but Kai Kara France did fight in Rising.
Yeah, I know. That's why I asked.
Yeah,
I mean, he fought all over Asia.
Yeah, no.
They may have fought earlier on.
No, they didn't fight.
Yeah. No, that'd be a scrap.
That'd be a sick fight.
That'd be a sick fight for sure.
Because Kai Asagura is big.
Yeah, he is.
He's
tall.
Long and tall.
Yeah, he's tall and got really high level striking.
Yeah, his striking's excellent.
Yeah.
And his his wrestling defense, Juan Archuleta is a Division I wrestler, 2-time NCAA qualifier, wrestle fucks everybody, at least in Risen.
Yeah.
And in Bellator, and he didn't get one takedown.
Yeah.
I take that back. He got a takedown. Technically, he got a takedown with 2 seconds left in the first round. So, but
do with it what you may.
Whatever.
Yeah.
You could have it.
For sure. Speaking of fights, we got a pretty I guess you can say interesting fight card this weekend with Strickland and Duplessis.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
That is a tough one. Another homeboy favorite with Strickland. Definitely a fan. I consider him a friend. He's a cool guy.
Yeah, Strickland's been cool. I've had some strange experiences with him.
Some strange experiences with him. No, I've sparred quite a bit with Strickland when I first moved out to Vegas, and I hope he gets it done against Dricus, but I definitely think Dricus is a monster too. That's another guy that fought in Poland as well at KSW. Yeah. Did the rounds out there at 170 and 85.
I want to rewatch his fight versus Soldich.
Which one? Where he got knocked out, or when?
I've never seen it.
Yeah, I saw him he's been brutally knocked out by Soldich, and then I think he beats him in the rematch.
Oh, he beat Soldich?
I think so. So. If I'm not mistaken, I might have to double check.
Because Soldich he's the real deal.
He was the real deal, and then he kind of just shit the bed and won. I thought
How many fights did he have? 2?
Maybe 2. Yeah,
well,
I don't
he got
think
kicked in the nuts first fight.
Yeah.
And it just game ender, dude.
Yeah, I know. I've been there.
So by shit the bed,
you know about that.
He just got sent with a nut shot.
Yeah. No, I can't. But in the next fight, he came out and got knocked out.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Or maybe it's that happened, and then he got knocked out 2 in a row.
Whoa.
Yeah. He hasn't made. It was kind of like Eddie Alvarez, he wasn't. You thought.
Dude, one championship's scary though. If you're a big name and you're going to one championship, it's they're gonna feed you to the most dangerous people.
Well, that's what they're wanting to do.
Sage
They want to make a
cut.
name off of you. Yeah, I mean that was savage when they put Sage in against Cosmo.
Like what?
Oh, that was so horrible. I
Yeah,
remember that.
like I've trained with Cosmo before in South Florida, and that dude's like a fucking monster.
Dude.
Like, and Sage is not ready for that.
It's just
No.
a murder in the ring. I remember
Broke
watching
his
that happen,
face,
just-
but it's pretty impressive that Sage has come back from that.
He's actually at our gym in Japan. He's at Japan Tokyo.
Sage.
Yeah, he's
Oh.
fighting in One Championship Tokyo. It's on January 28th.
Nice.
So he's training at our gym.
small one.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's super random.
Super.
So random.
Is there guys his size there?
No.
Like, no.
No.
So who's he training with?
No clue.
No clue.
I have no idea.
I have no idea. He's just there.
Yeah, technically, like I'm not.
I guess because they're fighting in Tokyo, is he just there to acclimatize and just be there?
Yeah, I'm sure he's got. I'm sure he's bringing a team.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure he's got all that going on.
For sure. So you're a Las Vegas local, right? Born and raised.
Born and raised.
What's
the
life
streets.
from the streets? What's life been like growing up in Las Vegas? Apart from wrestling dudes all day.
Yeah, besides wrestling dudes all day.
Yeah.
Say it like that.
Yeah, when I'm not wrestling dudes, like growing up here I had a very interesting childhood. My dad was a successful businessman, always working. My mom, stay-at-home mom, so naturally I got to take advantage of not having a whole lot of discipline in the home. So I was a crazy kid running around, getting into trouble. And then I went to military school for 2.5 years, came back to Vegas, and at that time my pops had retired from the gaming industry here and bought a business in Florida. And so my parents moved to Florida, and they just like, a big opportunity for them, I guess. And so like they let me live in Las Vegas alone.
How old were you at that time?
I was 16 for sure. I had a car.
So it's like a dream. That's like the dream right there.
Yeah.
16 years old and no parental supervision.
Yeah, no parental supervision. So like, you know,
Sweet.
sweet, dude, exactly. So naturally, I partied a lot.
Like house parties, or were you like on the
Yeah,
strip?
no, I had a lot of house parties, And then what we did, because I lived up in Summerlin area, is at that
So
time.
rich house parties.
Yeah, rich house parties.
Nice.
So
The best kind.
The
yeah.
best kind.
I grew up Summerlin area, so it's kind of near the mountains, so we did like a lot of bonfires, which was chill because big bonfire, they're like ragers, crazy, hundreds of people, and then there's no cleanup afterwards, which was nice.
Just leave it.
Yeah, you just leave it, burns, right?
Yeah.
So like that was because they're in like the big washing system, so it's gonna get cleared out anyways.
Gotcha.
And we weren't like too strict on the like littering laws, wasn't focused on it at the time.
You're not environmentalists.
At the time, I
No.
definitely didn't
Yeah.
consider. Yeah. Yeah, man, it was crazy. A lot of partying, a lot of exposure to different things at a young age. Girls kind of maybe with looser morals than normal.
Yeah.
I would say.
I can imagine. So
Historically loose
that's
morals.
is that something that just kind of is like a Vegas thing?
Yeah, when I went off to college, so I wrestled at Boise State and wrestled at Oregon State. So both kind of like rural.
Interesting states to be
Yeah.
in, right?
Boise especially.
Boise, and then very different both places, huh?
Yeah, super different. But like I had guys on my team that like had never been drunk before, like my freshman year, or like never been, had only ever slept with one girl, or like something, very like conservative values, small
sure.
town, Christian, this, that, and the other.
And then you come in.
Yeah, then I came in, bro. I never one time, and I partied pretty hard in college. Like the parties that I experienced in high school were way crazier than anything I've ever experienced in college. And even when I went to Oregon State, which is like a known party school, like one of the top party schools, like still just didn't really compare to some of the things I experienced in Vegas in high school.
Yeah, I mean Vegas, especially on the entertainment side, which obviously parties, even for locals, I'm sure, it would probably have to be one of the best places in the world when you think about it.
Yeah, it has to be, and also you look at like for kids, like. The divorce rate in Vegas is like 56%. So like most kids have homes that are broken, so their parents are probably working. So there's a lot of open
Free
houses.
time, yeah.
You know, there's a lot of kids that can get into shit. You know, like
for sure.
And plus Vegas is like, it's a blue collar city. As much as it looks pretty, and you see the Strip and all these expensive fancy things, like, yeah, that's for the people that come visit for the most part.
Yeah,
right.
But
like,
the people that live here, they're servicing that.
The people that live here are the service people.
Yeah, service industry.
Working class.
So
for sure. So yeah, Vegas. I mean, I've been here now 4 years. I guess for sure. I call it home now, but it's an interesting place and it's only growing. More and more people are coming here. More and more things are coming here.
Dude, I heard this stat. I'm gonna butcher this, but it's like 120 people are moving here a day. In the last month, 120 people have moved here a day, and the crime has gone up 400%.
God damn.
I believe it.
And they're all from California, aren't they? That's
Probably.
what I heard. That's what I heard.
Dude, I live like in a nice apartment complex. And by nice, I mean like it's a nice place. It's expensive.
It's like gated.
Relatively expensive, gated, like security, all this stuff. And dude, even I feel like my apartment, it's rough. It's like how do these people afford to live here? Like it blows. Not to sound terrible, but it's like I tried to get a nicer place for a reason.
Yeah.
And it's like I mean I'd never leave my door unlocked.
Yeah, no, fuck no. Not in America.
Not in America.
No, but I guess like I mean,
there are certain places in
my
America.
parents' neighborhood, I'd leave my door unlocked.
For sure, that's different.
You know,
that's different. No, I mean, for where I live, I feel like I'm pretty.
You could leave your door unlocked.
I could definitely leave my door unlocked. I mean, my neighbor leaves his door open when you just walk by.
You could leave your door unlocked.
But there's been multiple times he's just got girls coming in and out, and I'm just like, yeah, like so there's no issues there. For sure, it just depends where you are. But Vegas is if you're not in the right spot. My buddy Malik, when he moved here,
literally the third day, car stolen.
Yeah.
Seriously,
living in Vegas.
My girlfriend's mom had a red Hyundai. We're literally there for 3 days. Gets stolen out of the parking lot.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
Yeah.
3 days. Sick.
But the thing was, this kid, when he's moving to Vegas, I'm like, oh, I got a place for you. Like, if you need, like, I know some spots. And he's like, no, my girl's got it. Ends up moving to North Vegas.
Oh, yeah, now they can move?
No, we live in the hood.
In the hood?
Still?
Yes, still.
Oh, shit.
But we only have a 9-month lease, so.
When their lease is up, I've told them you should move out of that area.
Yeah, move to this area.
That's what I said.
That's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
I'm like, trust me, you want to be in an area where you're not going to get your car stolen. Like, ideally.
That would be pretty nice.
Ideal situation. But, Vegas is definitely, I could definitely see... again, I try to stay home as much as possible. I don't try to put myself in any situations.
It's like the least thing that I like to do is go out. Like when I feel like sometimes you have to go out, you gotta go to the club, whatever. And like it's good, right, for the networking aspect or like whatever to show somebody
just
an experience.
Mix things up.
Like I'm gonna take our Japanese fighter that's with us, Hiroya, to a nightclub and stuff, and get him a table and all this jazz.
Where are you gonna go, like Encore or Zouk?
Probably go to Zouk because
connections.
He doesn't know it yet, but we're gonna have like the DJ play a reel of him knocking a dude out.
Oh yeah,
and it'd be like on all the screens.
That's sick.
In
the club.
Yeah, so it'd be like that would be a sick experience.
Very cool.
But
did Hiroya also fight on the last card?
Yeah, so Hiroya fought. Listen how crazy this is. He fought on the last card. He was a plus 500 underdog. Fought a guy that was 11-0.
Oh, what's his record?
9-12.
His record's 9-12.
Bro, he's got a crazy story. He's like his record is not at all reflective of his
who
ability.
he is.
Bro, he's fought 21.
How old is he? He's 25.
25. He started fighting at 19. He's fought 21 pro fights.
21 pro fights. All in Risen?
Risen and deep.
Wow. Yeah, that's high level.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He hits him with a head kick, knockout. Head kicks him, wobbles him, steps out, cross, left hook, finish.
Slap.
Done.
Yeah.
And he fights at 35?
25.
25?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. That's sick.
Yeah, he's a little savage. He's just the fucking man, dude.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome.
That's
Hiroya is the fucking man. And it's so cool to have him out here because he's staying with me, and I'm just involved in a ton of cool camps. They're all around his size. Like we got Alex Perez fighting March 2nd.
Boom.
We got Rob fighting
partners.
February 17th.
Has he already gone on the mats with those boys?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Cody Garbrandt, we got on the 300. What is that?
April.
April something.
Yeah.
So we haven't trained with him yet, but his camp will be starting soon, and Then we got some women fighting as well that like are around the same weight, so it all
Perfect.
works
So it's
out
like
great.
perfect for him to get the looks, get different looks.
Yeah, because they're in a bubble over there, dude. Their
Yeah.
gym, your apartment's bigger than their MMA gym, and
That's crazy.
they have guys that are making.
It's Asia, bro.
Yeah, like
That's
Hong Kong.
Asia.
They have
Yeah,
guys that are
yeah.
making millions out of a gym that's like smaller than your apartment.
This is the mat right here.
Yeah.
It's
It's
crazy.
fucking crazy.
It's so
We were
crazy.
talking about it at the gym, like, oh, we want to bring this, and this, and this. And I was like, guys, where are we gonna put each? Like, if we have 10 people on the mats, like it's a liability. We can only really have like 6 guys. Like that's just the facts. We got to split practice.
Do they have a cage?
Yeah, so the cage takes up the bulk, but the reason is because they have the Asagura brothers have a promotion called Breaking Down,
Oh, you told me about
and
that.
they originally filmed in the gym,
Got you.
and so now they're selling out stadiums, but they kind of like didn't readjust the gym, so it's like a big like a legit cage that's like would be at a promotion
Got you. Taking up.
inside of a gym, so like it's elevated.
Yeah.
It just takes a bunch of room.
Yeah, unnecessary space.
But the
Yeah.
cage is very nice.
Yeah.
Like it's very nice. It's great for guys to spar and train and whatever. But there's just not a lot of mat space.
Got you. Yeah. That's just like for those who do know, yeah, in Asia like space is so limited and it's like it costs so much.
Bro.
Especially in Asia. Like
Apartments, man. They got me an apartment and it was cool. It was cool. Loved it right next to the gym. It was half the size of my current apartment. My current apartment, like ballpark number, is probably $2,500 a month in rent.
uh-huh.
There's $7,500 and it was half
US?
the size. Yeah, US.
Uh,
I mean, I was in like a nice.
you must have been like
Were you
downtown
Tokyo?
Tokyo.
I was
Yeah.
at the Akasaka.
I'm not familiar.
So Akasaka is like a business district,
Oh,
and like it's
7,500 a
That'll
month.
do it,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's like Hong Kong numbers.
Do you know
Causeway Bay.
Yeah.
Roppongi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's neighbors. They kind of like intermix. They run
So
next to
they're
each other.
like
Akasaka,
walking
Roppongi.
distance to
Or
Roppongi?
Roppongi. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So yeah,
walking
you're in a
distance.
good area.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not surprising, bro. It's so expensive out there,
Trippy, yeah.
dog. Tokyo for sure. Hong Kong, same shit. That's why I don't want to live in Hong Kong.
That's
It's
why
like
I left too.
yeah, it's like
expensive.
it's like
Crazy.
why am I paying this much money for this little box? And
But
I
it's
can
weird. Like certain things are so like everything else is relatively cheap,
pretty much. Yeah.
which is crazy. But like
Yeah.
rent's
And
expensive.
especially a lot of people in Hong Kong, I'm speaking more specific for Hong Kong, it's like they pay all that money to stay at this place, but they don't even stay there. They just sleep there.
yeah,
You know what I
crazy.
mean? So that's why Japan have those like those
Yeah,
like
I was never home.
yeah, they have those like
Sleep
short-term
pods.
sleep pods.
Bro,
Like,
what about the love hotels?
you tell me about
Oh,
the love
my-
hotels.
What about the love hotels?
Well, did you fall in love in Japan?
Almost.
Well, when I say fall in love, I mean that's a pretty.
Fell in love
intense-
with the culture. There you
I
go.
do love the culture. I also met some people that told me that they would be seriously practicing their English for when I come back.
Oh yeah, so
Which
they're
I
awaiting
thought,
your
oh,
return.
wow,
That's
amazing.
exciting, right? But like, when in a million years you're gonna get American girls like, I'm gonna learn a language.
So this is crazy. This is where like I can identify my sickness and the toxicity inside of my soul.
Yeah.
Like I loved Japan, and I loved like a lot of the traditional conservative values, and then like even the vibes that you get from these girls, and dude, I went on like 2 dates, like no English, like they spoke no English, like and my stubborn, like you know how stubborn I can be, bro. I'm not using my phone. We're not translating. We're not translating.
We're just going.
Bro, I'm not joking.
Yeah.
I went out. This is crazy. Oh man, we'll get into it. We're here. We'll get into it. So I went on a date with a Japanese porn star.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like famous porn star?
she's probably like mid. She's on the high level, like as far as the. I think the company that she's with is like considered like the A standard company, but I wouldn't say she's like the cream of the crop of that. But you know, she's young. So went out with her, and I was thinking like, because I'm thinking like porn star like America, right? And not that I've ever been with one here, but like you can kind of get an idea of what they are, and like in my opinion, no offense, but like it's kind of
All offense,
It's just
yeah.
kind of gross.
Yeah, for
You know,
sure.
it's just like
For
to
sure.
me, like, I wouldn't go on a date with a girl that does that, just
Yeah.
because like the idea kind of bothers me
For sure.
to go on a date with, you know. And so I was like, well, let's just try it, and it was like totally not anything I would have thought of. She was the sweetest girl, man. Like We went to like a hot pot place, which is like close to shabu shabu. So it's like a pot with like water, vegetables, and they cook everything for you. Like, and I'm telling you, I'm so stubborn. Like, I'm not using my phone. I won't do any translate. So it's like very broken. And she's like cooking me food. She's like serving me. She's like trying her best to talk, as I am too, you know. And like we're just vibing, and it was an excellent time. Like, I truly actually enjoyed a date, which, like, for the most part in Vegas, I don't.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I also saw other chicks that were like, just, you know, normal. Well, one girl's a barista, one girl, you know, just different things. And like, they were all, I have nothing but positive experiences. And I'm saying that like not on a sexual level, like on just like I enjoyed their company.
Yeah.
And then, like, my fucking dumbass comes home. I go to Fit Club, the boys' gym, Fit Club Las Vegas. Make sure to check them out.
Fit Club Las Vegas.
It's the spot, honestly.
The boys.
It's the
it
spot.
really is the spot.
It's
if
the
you
spot.
know what's what.
It's the spot. But there's some beautiful chicks there, too. But they're like industry girls, right? So it's a specific type of chick. And
definitely specific.
you know, like, I just fall into just, like, there's something about that I love. Like,
Yeah.
I just love that just fucking out there chick that's just...
They just, like, sing like a siren and they call you in.
There's some sickness about me.
That's
Snake
like,
charmer.
you know?
yeah, they charm you in, dog.
Yeah, there's something I love about it.
There's just something you love about it.
It
I mean,
has to
you
be cultural.
remember, it's like, it's who you are. You know, Las Vegas. Like, you can't change that. That's
There's
who you are,
something I
dog.
just love about, like, big old fake lips and, like, just being blasted all over the internet. I don't know why.
Just being blasted all over the
fucking
internet.
I just love it, dude.
Yeah.
I wish I didn't, but, like, there's something that I do.
There's something
like
in it that you love about it. I mean, that's just the honesty, you know, it has to come out.
Yeah.
You know, and everybody has their things that they like. Some girls, they do that stuff to what they think looks good, but to others they look like a clown. For me, a lot of those girls look very silly looking.
Yeah,
You know?
it's like a specific look. I think it's like, it's sexy, then like handsome Squidward. You know what I'm saying? Like,
There's only that
like,
scale.
it's like good,
And then
good.
it's gone too
bad.
far. Yeah.
So
Once
bad.
you cross that line, it's like, yeah, no more.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can't go there.
Yeah. So I don't know what that balance is. I'm not, you know.
You're still learning.
Yeah, I'm not a doctor. Like, I don't know how much. I don't know how much.
I mean, and the girls are just evolving and changing, you know, like yearly. There's like a new thing that's coming in, whatever that trend is. You just never know.
I mean, historically, like, I'm definitely more attracted to like natural women. So like, when you can find a beautiful girl that looks good with no makeup on, that's like
that's
natural,
the ideal,
or like close to natural. I'm not against any like sort of
a little bit,
enhancements.
bit.
Like, get
you
your
know?
lips, get some Botox.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to see any wrinkles. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like,
I don't need to see any wrinkles.
I don't need to. I mean, I will.
Yeah,
I'll take a peek
eventually.
at them if you got them. But like,
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, it's just, I feel like the girls that, the ones that do the plastic surgery to cut corners, that they could easily get to that just physically, like in the gym, or just putting in a little bit of effort, or just eating clean. Those ones are the worst, in my opinion. Like, it's like, it just shows me the kind of person you are, that you need to go and get like your fat sucked out of your belly. You know what I mean? To like have like contoured abs. I'm just like, come on, bro.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, because then you're like kind of like, I guess where one could get offended by that would be like if you were attracted to them and then you had something with them, like got maybe like developed some sort of relationship, and then you're like, oh, but genetically you're a fat girl, or like genetically you're like this, and it's just like, maybe I shouldn't have said that on a podcast.
It's okay.
Genetically.
You know, like, and then you feel kind of deceived. Like, there's a girl that I knew
That's true.
that you.
Okay.
Like that, you know, there's a guy in China who sued because of that.
Yeah, like
They had, like, a
there's
really
girl,
ugly
I'm telling you,
kid.
there's a girl you know that
Oh
I
yeah.
know.
Oh yeah. Wait,
We-
the Eskimo Bros?
No. But
Dude.
I don't know whether you've been with her or not. I have not been. But good-looking girl.
Uh-huh.
We both know her. Dude, she tells me, I've never gotten any work done. I'm all natural. I was like, oh, wow, okay, you're like, because I'm like not like smart enough to like tell you like someone that's
you're
got,
not
like,
looking like
marginally like they have or haven't gotten work. I
uh-huh.
can't tell you.
Uh-huh.
I was like, wow, this girl's beautiful. Like she was like some sort of mix. Like I think she's maybe some sort of Middle Eastern and white or something like this. And I thought she was good looking. And then, like, her good friends tell me, like, oh, what are you talking about? Everything's fake. And they showed me, like, pictures of her, like,
what she used to look like
2 years prior. And I'm like,
Oh no,
dude, if I had a child with her, he'd never get picked to play football. He'd be last picked every time. Are you kidding me?
Shit. No, but it's true.
Like,
That's deceiving, bro. You get sued for fraud.
I was offended.
I was offended.
Like, legit. Like, I had no...
That's a straight up lie, too, to say, like, I've never had work done and to say that I'm natural.
Well, I mean, listen, I can understand that. Like, if you want to keep it private, because I guess that's medical, like, okay, keep it to yourself, but...
I don't know.
I guess. I don't know.
I just can't trust
I'm trying
him.
to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Just can't trust him anymore, dog. Did you ever wrestle internationally? Like, go and wrestle internationally?
Yeah, as a young kid, I wrestled internationally quite often.
Did you ever go to Dagestan?
No, I went to Moldova, though.
Moldova? Okay.
Moldova was tough. Really the biggest thing, though, that, like that you don't see in, I think, more established countries, at least in sport, is, like, their grittiness. And the reason... I actually learned this later in my life. I learned this when I was out in Norway. There's a bunch of guys from Afghanistan that were there.
Uh-huh.
And, like, you train with them, and they train so hard. Like, they're the worst sparring partners. They're the worst... Because they go so hard. Like, you'll get hurt training with them if you don't show up to scrap.
Uh-huh.
And it's because they never got attention unless they were the king of the room. Like, unless you're the man, your coaches aren't giving you attention.
Over there,
and so they try to kill each other.
Got you.
And so, like, what that does translate to is, like, this relentless desire and a attempt to score. So, like, they're always looking to score points, and, like, that's what makes them great.
Uh-huh.
You know.
And you think that that mindset over there is like a better mindset than they have here, like in America?
I mean, America's now the number one in the world in wrestling, so it's hard to say. Like, I think we're so advanced in, like, training. We're so advanced in we're so advanced in athletic development. Like, so I think that we're just superior in that sense. We have better athletes, but as far as, like, grittiness, like, yeah, I think that goes a long way. And I think you see that in MMA. I mean, sometimes it's just like it's just a tougher dude.
Yeah, who wants it more? And then, like, with someone now that you see, like Bo Nickel, who's, would you say, probably the highest credentialed MMA wrestler?
Yeah, he's not the high, like
competing
active,
currently.
Active,
yeah, competing
yes,
currently.
yes, he is, and he's really, really good.
Have you ever trained or crossed paths?
Nope. I've never. He was kind of just different time than me. Also wrestled at Penn State. I was on the West Coast. I think like maybe I was a sophomore in college when he was a senior, or maybe I was a freshman in college when he was a senior. Super talented. I think that there's a lot of tests out there for him. There's certain guys I'd like to see him against a Joe Pfeiffer.
Oh, I think Joe's like really one of the biggest like dark horses in the division.
I'd like to see him against a Jack Hermanson too.
Jack's fighting who?
Joe Pfeiffer.
Yeah, Joe Pfeiffer.
That's a tough one too, though. I think like Joe. I mean, Jack's my guy. I've done one of his camps before. That's a tough fight. I think there's paths to victory for Jack. I think that Jack's also going to be a big underdog.
Yeah, I think so too.
So Joe's very tough.
Yeah.
Now we saw that he has holes in his game in his last fight, so we'll see.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting fight, of course. But yeah, Joe's looking good at the moment.
But both those guys, like Bo Nickel, has more hype than both of those guys.
For sure.
I mean, Jack's kind of like, I wouldn't say end of his
Bo
career.
Nickel versus Joe would be an interesting one for sure.
Yeah, like let's see Bo Nickel against a really good jiu-jitsu grappler that can also strike. Let's also see Bo against a really good striker that has decent wrestling.
Yeah.
Like, I don't... What weight is he? He's at 85, right?
85, yeah.
Yeah, like, dude, Bo Nickel, Jack Hermanson, like, here's a true story. Hamzat Chimaev and Jack Hermanson had a wrestling match.
Yeah, I know, I saw.
Hamzat won. Hamzat refused a grappling match. Would not do a match with any submission in it. Like, I think that goes to say how good Jack's grappling is.
Yeah.
Jack's a very good grappler.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
So I think like that could be like Jack versus and you saw what Jack did to Chris Curtis.
Yeah.
Like just fucking destroyed him with kicks. I think that'd be a great fight.
Yeah. It's gonna be a good one, for sure. But yeah, let's dive into this big fight card up in Toronto. Dive into a couple of the main card fights.
Yeah.
Obviously, you just brought up Chris Curtis.
Yeah.
Chris Curtis is fighting Marc-André Barrio. That's a Canadian there. I think they call him the Power Bar. He's quite a conditioned fighter. I've noticed he's able to usually break fighters just with his conditioning. But someone like Chris, I feel, I think he's also kind of like that kind of fighter. He kind of like wears on you, puts on a lot of his boxing combinations. He's got that southpaw style. I think Chris Curtis will get it done. I don't think it's going to be a good homecoming for the Canadian in that one, personally. I think also having both Chris Curtis and Strickland fighting on the main event, main card, I think is a motivating factor as well. What do you think? What you got on that one?
Yeah, man, I think that like you said, that like him and Chris and Sean being on the same card, I think is massive. I think like it's undeniable to say like whatever they got going over on at Extreme is working.
Yeah,
and I think like I think that they have a lot of camaraderie between, you know, their head coach and their athletes, and I think that's been a lot of. I think that contributes a lot to the success of those guys. You know, if you like look at their career, I think Chris goes in and I think he knocks him out.
You think? Yeah,
I think Chris is gonna win by KO.
Nice. Yeah. I definitely like Chris to get his hand raised. Another fight that I think is kind of low key, not many people have their eyes on, is Movsar Evelev versus Arnold Allen.
I didn't even realize that was on the card. Dude.
Yeah,
And that's a great fight.
That's actually
that's probably the most interesting fight on the card.
Yeah. You know, Evelev's last fight, I believe he fought that, what's his name? The dude with the haircut.
Diego.
Yeah, Diego. And that was like a super close fight. Yeah, and it was like short notice and everything. So, Arnold Allen's pretty damn good too. He got really good striking. I'm pretty sure he's strong as fuck too. His dad's actually is like a famous power lifter.
Yeah, have you seen his Instagram? They like lift like crazy shit.
Yeah, so that's like a strong ass.
Rusty engines and stuff.
Like, so that's So he's like part of that. Cause you just know that motherfucker is strong, you know. So I don't know if Evelev's gonna be able to get him and hold him down like he usually does for most people. It seems to be getting hard for him to start doing that to people. Yeah. And Arnold's got some sharp striking, and from what I checked, I saw Arnold as a slight underdog. That's definitely like probably my dog of the day.
Dude, you gotta think though. Arnold was 9-0 before he met Holloway, and like that was not that was a mismatch, but I didn't see the benefit of Arnold going to fight Holloway, to be honest.
Well, it was to see if he was, a title contender. He gets through Holloway. It's usually Holloway's like, if you beat Holloway, you can fight for the title.
Yeah.
If you can't, it's like, get back in line.
Yeah, that's an interesting fight. So personally, like, I'm a Diego Lopez fan.
Yeah, me too.
So
he's been doing amazing.
MMA math. Well, this isn't MMA math, but like, I would like to see Evelev win, and maybe Diego fight Allen. You know, like I like just to get him jump in the ranks. I want to see him climb to the top 10. So as far as the matchup goes, like, dude, I think Arnold Allen can knock out anybody. So I think it's just a toss up.
Yeah, no, it can go like Does Evelev just control him the whole fight, or does Arnold Allen whoop his ass striking?
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of, like I said, I like him as my dog pick. I wouldn't throw him in a parlay. If you threw like $100 on him, you might win like, if last I checked, 145, 150, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely a good fight to take a look at. And then another fight that I thought was interesting was Mike Malott versus Neil Magny. Yes. That's another up and comer Canadian fella, Mike Malott. He's been doing real good.
Yeah, I think Neil's kind of like, man, I think
he's getting up there, right? He's older.
Yeah, he was a savage at one point. He's still very tough.
The most wins in the welterweight division.
Yeah, he's a motherfucker, but I think he's like,
his prime is like,
lack of better terms, I think he's the gatekeeper to the top 10.
Yeah, makes sense.
And I think that there's they just put the Mike Malott into the UFC game and stuff. There's a lot of hype behind
For
him.
sure, for sure. He's following the same path Ian Gary did. Same as D-Rod. D-Rod just didn't fucking pass the test.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
it was D-Rod first, then it was fucking Ian,
Gary,
and then now it's Mike.
Yeah, I think this is that. I think this is what it is.
He's Canadian. Like, they got to,
And that's actually, it's a great setup. Like, that's a great, if Mike gets past him and he fights, I could see him and Ian Gary is actually a great fight.
Canada versus Ireland.
Yeah.
Why not? But yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting this year to see how the welterweight division shapes out. Obviously guys like Shavkat. Yeah. We got Kevin Holland and Michael Venom Page coming up. So there's definitely some interesting random and interesting as fuck. Yeah. And then I just saw they announced yesterday that super card, PFL versus Bellator champs. That shit looks awesome. Yeah, like sick. Super and sick.
It's in Saudi Arabia. I think.
Yeah, it's in Saudi Arabia. Basically, just like kind of swiped off the March card for the UFC.
Yeah, but how crazy? Did you see the statement? It's like it's basically because it wasn't entertaining enough of a card.
Yeah, they're like, we don't like it because Islam's not on it.
Yeah, but
basically,
what was the whole point? Like the main event was that guy, I don't even know the guy's name. Is the like ginger looking fellow that's like from
the with one eye.
Yeah.
That fella. Yeah.
He's fought one time in the UFC.
And he was main event. Yeah.
And they call him Shara Bullet. He's
Shara Bullet. He's sick.
He won by decision.
Yeah, and he got wrestle fucked at one point. So
I was so unimpressed. I'm sure he's great, but I was not very impressed by his first.
And that guy can't fight in America because he's blind in one eye.
Oh really?
Yeah, that's why he fights out in the Middle East. So yeah, but still, to be a main event makes no sense. But who wants to fight in Saudi Arabia, dog? Like, let's be honest. On UFC money, if you're getting like boxing money, hell yeah. But UFC money to go all the way to Saudi Arabia?
I thought that I was going to corner in Saudi Arabia.
Who?
Perez.
That's where he's supposed to fight. Who's he fighting?
Kayev.
That's a good fight.
And I was like, sucks. But now I'm excited for the fight. I'm excited for Alex.
But they just pushed it back to like June or something, right?
Yeah, but now Alex fights Vegas same date.
Oh, okay. Same fighter.
Yeah, same opponent.
Okay, okay, cool. They just turned it to Vegas.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm sure he's happy about that too.
Oh yeah. Everyone's happy.
Yeah, everyone's happy. Fuck going that far.
No one's sad about it.
No one's sad. Yeah. And then we have another title fight, which I'll be honest, and I'm always hating on that women's MMA, but I know Billy's a little bit invested because his relationship with Zhang Weili, the champ, but she's on a whole nother level. But these ladies fighting for the 45 belt, we got Raquel Pennington and what's that girl, Mariah Buena Silva. Yeah. She's actually pretty good. Both of those girls can fight. No hate.
That's for a belt?
Yeah, that's for the 45 belt. Because obviously
Nunes,
Raquel Pennington and that Buena Silva.
The Brazilian chick?
Yeah. Shitara, the Brazilian. I think so too. Yeah. Raquel's a good boxer, brawler, been there forever.
Yeah.
But I think her husband or wife, whatever they want to call it, is Tisha Torres. Another UFC fighter.
She's from Colorado, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
all tatted.
Yeah.
She can box.
Yeah, she's tough.
Yeah.
I just think
I think the other girls got more
Brazil's
weapons. Tough motherfuckers.
Brazil just has really good female fighters, dude.
And men.
And male fighters.
Yeah. They're just tough.
Brazil's just tough, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great, talk about one of the best countries for
fighters.
For fighters, Brazil's up there.
For sure. They sometimes they get the better, a lot of the time they get the better of the Russians. The Brazilians are fucking tough. Yeah. They go to Russia and they whoop ass too. They don't play around. That's also because a lot of those guys go through hardship, but now it's they have such factories just producing such Shootbox, all those guys. Literally, when you see a guy fighting out of a place called Shootbox, you know exactly the style that's coming. It's not all of a sudden that guy's pulling guard and he's a sick jiu-jitsu guy. It's nah, that guy's gonna go try to knock your fucking head off. And it's the style they ingrain. So it's kind of cool to see the products that are being produced out of these places. And yeah, you're seeing it. They're fucking doing good.
Dude, it's awesome.
And then look. You would say it Brazil were champs for such a long time, and then there weren't American champs for such a long time. But now we got American champs.
Dude, it's just a mix, right?
Yeah, it's always changing.
Yeah, I think I saw something with all the champs and I think it's cool. You're just seeing all these different flags representing titles, and it's really cool.
For sure. And then of course we got the main event. Sean Strickland and Dricus du Plessis. How do you see this fight? What do you like in this fight? Who do you like in this fight?
Yeah, I mean, I think Sean's gonna outclass him. I don't see I don't see a lot of keys to victory for Dricus. I mean, it's gonna be hard to touch Sean, but if Sean fights the right fight, right?
Yeah.
I think he gets it done, man. I think Sean gets it done. I think if I were a betting man, I'd take the over on rounds,
decision,
just to give the in the event that if Dricus wins, I think it'll be in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, if he's able to get him out of there, hurt him somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of
just can't see Sean really getting hurt.
Yeah, I mean, we know Dricus isn't Dricus isn't Alex Pereira, first of all.
He's not Alex Pereira.
Yeah.
And when he does, when Dricus causes damage, I feel like every time that I know, it's he's blitzing with lunging shots.
Yes, very wide open.
Yeah.
I agree. So obviously going into the Izzy fight, I was because I've trained with Sean. I've obviously experienced what it's like to go against him and understood he is at such a high level, and his style, the way that he fights, he's basically makes you tired, and he's able to just over volume you in a space of time, and then all of a sudden you're just behind it. Yeah. And then you just get more and more tired. And his defense is amazing. I mean, I know they speak about it many, many times, but his defense makes you tired, which is super impressive. Missing shots makes you tired.
Yeah.
So when he was fighting Izzy, I just thought I'd never trained with Izzy before, only just seen him as a fan, but I didn't know if Izzy was even at that level in terms of feeling that. Because if you've never felt that before and then you feel it for the first time in a fight, it's something that you fucking got to adjust to, Yeah. And especially if you coming into the fight I'm gonna run through this fool. You know what I mean? And that was kind of the mentality, Sean's going to get fucking starched by everyone,
Yeah, everybody thought that.
Yeah,
and I don't know if anybody thought Sean was going to win.
No, and I mean, there was a part of me that I was Sean can win this fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I was
Izzy
not
was also untouchable at that point.
For sure. But in my mind, I was just I know Sean. He trains with the highest level kickboxers in the world, Artem Levin, guys that are K1, and bro, he beats the fuck out of these guys. So I'm you know what I mean? And I'm he can wrestle. I was thinking Sean could literally wrestle.
Sean can wrestle.
So I was there's definitely a way for him to win this. But I'm is he gonna win? Probably not.
Yeah.
And then when I saw what he did, I was just holy fuck! He literally just did what he does to everybody. Yeah. And I'm if you can't deal with that, if you can't knock him out, you're in trouble. Fighting backwards is tough. It's tough, and I think it's going to be the same thing. I just think his striking is too high level, and if Dricus wants to wrestle, I feel he can counter that, get back to striking like he did against Abus Nurmagomedov, whatever that dude's name is, who did take him down. He's just able to reverse position, get back up. I think he's not going to get submitted. Yeah. So I think really Dricus' only chance is a one-shot, hurt him and get him out. And I know he's a strong fucking dude. Dricus is a beast. He's physically, what he did to Rob Whittaker was kind of crazy.
I was very surprised.
Me too. That was my last fight on a parlay. I was for sure Whittaker's winning this.
Yeah.
And I was what the fuck?
Yeah.
So,
that's because everybody wants to see Whittaker back as champ.
For sure, but just Whittaker's level is just he's fucking good, man.
He's fucking good.
Yeah, so that's the thing. The fight game is so tough, but someone like Dricus, like you said, he's a big physical guy. If he gets his hands on you, he can make something happen. But I'm going with my boy. I guess we're a little biased, the Las Vegas love, but I'm gonna say Strickland here. So yeah, you guys kind of heard it right here. From the boy Billy and myself on what we think the fights, how they're gonna go. Throw that stuff in a parlay potentially, maybe throw in an Arnold Allen. That's gonna juicy up the odds. But I just want to give a quick shout out quickly to Grower Circle, the best bud in Nevada. With the shout outs to the picks, we're working together, trying to get more and more content going out with the UFC picks and stuff like that. Of course, my supplement brand, Need to Build Muscle, HC Jenner and N2Guard. You guys already know, you've heard it before. Greens as well. That stuff just helped me get through a bit of sickness. So I got to plug them in real quick. But fucking follow Billy on social media. Do your plug, homie. Let them know where to find you.
BBIGS_. Follow me on Instagram.
Bring up that American fan base. All you guys are Japanese.
Yeah,
now,
I got a massive Japanese base.
He's famous in Japan.
Very small American base. face.
Yeah, he's Japanese famous, but yeah, it's dope to finally have a guest. D-Rod will be getting back in town, so we're also hoping to have more content, especially when D-Rod gets into camp, get more work, and then we'll probably have all three of us kicking it on an episode. We haven't been able to have all three of us sitting at one time. We have 3 microphones, so it's about time we bust that.
That might be a crazy podcast, though.
And a couch as well.
And a couch, yeah, we can get a couch, casting couch. You know, we're in Vegas. But no, it's you know, while Billy's in town, I would love to, you know, get some more content with him. He's definitely one of the boys. So you know, fight stuff and behind the scenes, he's working with some of the best in the world. So it's always good to get that kind of insight in the fight game that most people can't get. And most of these people are all our friends anyway, so it's pretty cool to like have that.
Man.
You
it's
know,
cool. Just a lot of fun, man.
For sure. But yeah, it was a pleasure having you on. Appreciate you taking your time to sit down and have a chat, spread your message, kicking it with the boys, and stay tuned. Check your social media, give them a follow, fucking like, share, subscribe for Culture Crooks podcast. Appreciate you guys listening. Hope you enjoyed the episode, and stay tuned for next week's episode. Peace.